Hey there everyone, welcome back to Dark Souls. My last video is easily described as a montage of me dying a lot. Um, and hopefully this episode will be a lot better. There are still plenty of more frustrating parts in Ethereal. We're definitely going to get our asses handed to us more times, but hopefully it will be a little bit easier going from here on out. I really do feel like my first couple of times through this game, that beginning section is really the hardest part. And then after that, everything gets a lot easier. So we're going to warp in the Church of Yorkshire. There are a couple of things that I didn't do here. So you remember we killed the pilgrim over here. He's disappeared now, and I think actually Henri has moved on. Yes. She gave us the Black Eye Ring, which essentially, or Ring of Evil Eye, which essentially does the same thing as the weapon art for our... Oh, that's weird. It's not showing the pictures of the things up close. Anyway, it does essentially what the weapon art for our oh, there it goes. Weapon does. Except all. Is that new? I don't remember them being so zoomed up close. Maybe I just haven't looked at them very much. So anyway, so that's that. And then we got the Pontiff's Right Eye from the Beast, which boosts attacks as long as you continue to attack. I think it's you have to like attack 3 times, and then every time after that, as long as you continue attacking for a certain amount of time, then you get a damage boost. I've never been able to make it work effectively except for a little bit with straight swords, since they're low stamina consumption and pretty fast attack sequence. So these couple of things are pertaining to the Way of the Blue, or not the Way of the Blue, but the Dark Moon Knights. We got a Proof of the Concord Kept, which is the Covenant item that you offer in order to up your devotion in the Blade of the Dark Moons, as well as a roster of knights, which is kind of a throwback thing to Dark Souls 1. They used to have, I think, servants of or Daughters of Chaos and Dark Moon Blades had an item that was essentially just a list of all the people in that covenant. And maybe like a ranking or a leaderboard system. So the first thing we're going to notice as we come through this area is those weird hollow undead guys that we were fighting before with the claymores now have this strange like hiding ability. It's like a stealth camouflage almost. This area has always been really interesting to me. I am curious to see if they are going to... Oh, I forgot about that. Incorporate it into a DLC, because it's a significant object in the world that does absolutely nothing except for hide an undead bone shard. And also this Corvian, which are only ever seen in the Road of Sacrifices, is completely out of place. And that's, I mean, that sort of plays on how Dark Souls tells a lot of its sort of vague story is by environmental cues. So it would be odd for them to completely abandon that and just have that guy there at that like pedestal, but for it to mean nothing. These guys aren't too hard to deal with. You just have to keep an eye out for their eyes. We got a couple of dogs up here. Also, these dogs are interesting. I don't know if there's a particular reason behind it, but you'll notice, possibly, if they stop trying to kill me. Oh, fuck you. Oh, god damn it! Right. Ouch. Right in the face. But you'll notice that they don't actually have faces. All the other dogs in the game that we've encountered so far have faces, except for those ones. Which also, you know, it's just the little details. Could just be an alternate enemy design, though. Could just mean nothing. So anyway, I want to roll in and get my souls really quick. Oh, dang it. I lost my ember. Or maybe, no, I lost it a while ago. I was going to say, maybe I already lost it. Pick up some kukri off that guy. That's kind of odd. And a rusted gold coin, which increases our item discovery. And wasn't there like 3 before, and didn't I only just kill 2? And I wonder what happened to the 3rd one. Isn't that a bit weird? Maybe he's supposed to jump down from there, but he never triggered. Who knows? Alright, moving on. This area, I would highly recommend carrying a torch around in, at least the first couple of times through it. It's basically just, oh, dang, just chock full of these hiding hollow enemies. They're not particularly strong, but there are a couple of them that can fall down on you and ambush you. And you take a pretty large, significant hit from that falling damage. You can see all of the ones. And in here we'll see a variation that's like a crawling one. And they're a little bit harder to hit. But have lower HP totals, obviously. Ouch. But they're just like everywhere, like... To really clear out this area takes a while, and then you have to make sure that you're not getting overwhelmed by the other normal ones, who, again, because of that cloaking, are a lot harder to pay attention to until they come directly into their range of attack for you. There's this guy over here. Blue bug pellets, which increase temporary magic defense. So you can see the ones up on the rafters a little bit. See, there's one up there too. There was that guy. We couldn't even see that guy. I know that that one's going to try and fall down on me. I know it. I think there's some... maybe not. Okay. That's all that, guys. I don't remember that there's anything behind these barrels. And then up on the rafters you can get to, I think, at least 1, if not 2, different treasure chests, as well as an sort of a shortcut. Ah! What? Did somebody just shoot a spell at me? I've never seen that happen. Shriving Stone, which, of course, strips all enchantments. That was really weird. How did that happen? Who shot that spell at me? Huh. I'm genuinely confused by that. Weird. Um, hmm. That's really odd. Alright, so you drop down here. Oh, shit. That was wrong. That was wrong. Run, run, run. Damn it. You don't actually want to drop down there. Oh, what the fuck? I've never seen them do that either. What the? Who's shooting spells at me? Okay, so what you actually want to do here is fall down onto this like rampart area. This is not a mimic. And you get Yorkshire's Spear, which is not a weapon we're going to use, but probably pretty cool for people that are into that thing. Faster casting, interesting. Where is it? There it is. Yorkshire's Spear. And it raises temporarily wear down enemy FP with each strike. Feel like that sounds like it's a more PvP focused ability. Okay, so our next thing is we're just going to roll down here, grab these souls, and be done with this area, because there's not really much else to do there. Go ahead and pop an ember, because we will want to be embered for this next session. We can ditch our torch, because we are out of the dark. I think there's also a sorcery spell called like Cast Light or something that would be pretty helpful there. It just or conjures like a blue orb that hovers around your head, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, hello. No, come back. Yeah. Twinkling Titanite. And then I think that's all for this area. Oh, and then there's variations of these guys that make this terrible shrieking sound, which I think acts similar to the Corvians. They're magic-using characters, and essentially, once one of them shrieks, it activates all of the other hollows of that specific type in the area. And these guys are always spellcasters, even though they don't really have anything that delineates them from the rest of the other hollows, as far as I know. So that was a blood gem. That would increase our ability to inflict bleed on enemies. Again, not super big for us, but could be useful if you are trying to run a bleed build. We're gonna run over here and grab this really quick. There are also these awful, like, centipede monsters. That one's already dead, maybe? Or just doesn't care about anything. Anyway, these awful centipede monsters that also make a very similar sound to the hollow sorcerers, which I think is strange. What's going on with this one? He just doesn't care about anything. Okay. They're not too bad. There's another one. This one's also just doing nothing. They can be overwhelming in groups, though, so you'll want to watch out for that. And they are in a lot of these swampy, sort of watered areas. Praise the safe zone. So the reason that I went to the trouble to kill the alligator beast monster is you'll notice that we are now right by that first bridge area that we had to cross to get into Ethereal. If you don't kill them or kill it up there, you can just keep running and then pass through the barrier and it'll leave. But if you don't kill it the first time around, you have to fight it again, or at least it'll show up again and jump down on the bridge and fight you down here, which is arguably a harder fight because even though you have more space to maneuver around in, you definitely also have to manage the fact that you are in, I guess you could call it deep water. You're in enough water in this area for it to be slowing down your movements, which hampers you quite a bit. Another interesting feature in this level, we have a dead man grub with the Great Heal Miracle on him. The man grubs, as you may or may not be paying attention, are associated with Rosaria's Covenant, and it's heavily implied that they're the product of increasing your devotion in her Covenant. Or at the very least they're connected to her somehow. Maybe going through enough rebirths makes you into a man grub? I don't know. But so, again, it's interesting to have a character specifically linked to a Covenant or faction just sort of appearing out of nowhere in this area. Makes you wonder just about like what's going on. So we're gonna go over here and grab this guy. Some more green blossoms, which are incredibly useful. This is, let's see. Over there is the way I want to go, but not yet. First, I'm gonna go over here. There's a bonfire actually over this way that I want to tag first. If I remember correctly, there's nothing over here, so that's not important. Because there's actually some background stuff that I need to get done before I progress the game too much further. Okay, so we're going to light this bonfire. This is just this unreasonably dark corner back here. Okay, so let's go back to Firelink now. Oh, is this it? There we go. Here we go. Cool. So I'm going to do this really quick. And actually... Okay, yeah, no. I think this episode is going to be focused on tying up some, or furthering some NPC quest lines. Because we have a couple of things that we need to do. So Cirrus summons you into her world twice to help her fight invaders. The first one is Crichton the Wanderer, who's an obvious homage, if not the same character as Crichton the Wanderer from Dark Souls 2. I guess we don't really know. It's entirely possible that it's him, but it could also be not him. For as fast as she is, Cirrus is pretty useless in this battle. But one nice thing is that since the game treats it as you summoning in to help somebody in their world, if you die in it, you take no consequences. You don't lose your ember, you don't What the fuck? Did you just use a divine blessing? That sucks. Oh, what the shit? Stop that. So I mean, like, if you lose the first time, you can keep on trying until you get it, which is nice. And, like, all in all, he's actually a pretty good fight. His AI is definitely well thought out. Does a really great job. So there's one down.
Thank you for your kind assistance.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
Hey man, blessing of the moon on you too. Hooray! Okay, so that's that taken care of. We're gonna hop back to Firelink really quick. So here's one of the main sort of qualms I have with the way that Dark Souls deals with NPCs, and specifically this game. Actually, oddly enough, probably everyone's least favorite game for NPC questlines. The second game is one of my favorite because the way that you progress the NPC questlines makes sense and it feels organic. Pause one moment while I talk to Cirrus.
I have not thanked you for your generous rescue. That dark spirit was one of Rosaria's fingers.
It wasn't, though.
Vile bastard offspring who lurk in the darkness. My sworn enemies. Fearsome invaders, to say the least. I would not have made it alone. You have my deepest gratitude.
Hey, no problem. So you get the Blessed Mail Breaker and the Silver Cat Ring.
On your travels, I offer you my sign. Blessing of the moon upon your journey. If you request...
Is it... Oh shit, I'm sorry, Firekeeper. A lot of them don't really make sense. And a lot of them require you to buy things. In fact, almost all of them require you to buy things from people. Which... I don't know, it feels like a waste. It feels like you're dumping souls into merchants just so you can progress their quest line instead of actually buying useful things from them. So the first one we're going to do while we're here is we're going to push Siegmeyer's quest line into the next bit of its zone. The other thing I don't like is a lot of them, Cirrus's specifically questline, requires you to do backtracking in a way that isn't really, that's nonsensical for the way that the game is planned out. Get the patches squad.
Yes, aren't you glad we made good of things?
Okay.
I see you've met Greyrat, the slinking rodent. But he did me a good turn back in Lothric Dungeon. Doubtless I should do something about that little dead. Well, I can hardly believe he's still standing.
So let's look through his inventory. Whoa, that's weird. He has Siegmeyer's set. That wasn't there before. So we're going to buy Siegmeyer's set. Anyway, Cirrus's quest line requires you to backtrack in a way that doesn't at all make sense. Like, and the hint that tells you how to backtrack is so incredibly vague that, like, I really am surprised a lot of people got it the first time through.
Ah, well met, Ashen One. How may I be of service?
It's this. So, let's look the info. Oh wait, maybe it's not this one. Is it this one? No. There's supposed to be an item that the Shrine Maiden asks, or will sell to you. Maybe if we talk to her?
Ashen One. If my
No, Umbral Ash, okay. Apparently, there's a special green blossom, the blooming green blossom, I think, that has an item description that refers to Cirrus,
Ashen One.
And also, and that is supposed to be your hint, that you're supposed to go all the way back to one of the very first parts of the game. And you'll be amazed when you see it, because it doesn't make any sense. So, it goes like this. Apparently Cirrus's dad, or granddad, is the Covenant Master of the
That is good. What needs?
of the Mound Makers Covenant. What? Okay, cool. Got another Estus shard, and it's a little bit stronger. So we're actually going to leave. There's a chance that her shield appears somewhere outside of Firelink. But basically, yeah, Holy Knight Hodrick, which we fought as an invader earlier, much earlier in the game, is the Covenant leader for the Mound Makers. This person is also Cirrus's grandfather, as well as probably being married to the Shrine Maiden. She has some dialogue referring to the ashes that you find at the top of the Farron's Watchdog Covenant area that are apparently supposed to be a clue to that. And you're supposed to really piece all this together in order to come to the conclusion that you have to go all the way back to the Rotted Greatwood boss area. Maybe I was a little too... Okay, anyway. But again, like, since the game doesn't organically push you back through this area... Oh. Weird. It should be right here. Maybe I haven't progressed far enough to get that part? Huh. First green tree ahead. And this is the one about the kiln and transposing, yeah. Okay. So apparently we can't do that part yet. Let's homeward bone out of this bitch. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to meet back up with Siegmeyer. Or Sigurd. I'm sorry, Sigurd. And we're going to progress his section. Last time we saw him, he was in the Undead Settlement, and he helped us fight a dude. Now, we are going to meet him in the Cleansing Chapel. So, this one is a little bit more reasonable. There's a chance encounter with Patches in the Cathedral where he tricks you wearing Siegmeyer's armor. I may or may not have said that already. So you can assume that Siegmeyer himself doesn't have his armor and Patches does, hence why you can buy it off of him. So I guess it would make sense that that Siegmeyer would be somewhere else in the Cathedral without his armor. However, where could he be, right? Like, where? Well, it's this well. But here's the problem. Okay, so let's walk out here. Now, from this area, there are two different paths we can take, right? We can go up this way and kill these guys. No, don't be on fire. Or we could come down this way and, you know, fight whatever that guy is. Come over here and kill this guy. But most of the different ways that you could progress through this area don't take you close enough to trigger his dialogue. You have to be, like, closer. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem... It doesn't seem organic.
Siegfried of Katerina! I'm loath to admit it, but I've been had. Someone's swiped my armor. Did you happen to see it anywhere? Oh, my armor. My deepest gratitude. I, Siegfried of Katerina, salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, comrade. No need to with my...
Okay, so that done, we can advance him into his next area, which will be right over... Oh, purple. Which will be over where we are now, right by the distant manor, in a church area. Or, not a church area, but a kitchen. The unfortunate thing is we are going to... Oh, well... Yeah, no, I'll do that first. And the order is kind of vague but important. Essentially, when you send Grey Rat out to scavenge the first time, he's always successful. When you send him out to scavenge the second time, depending on whose quests you are advancing, or if you are advancing quests at all, he has a chance of dying in Ethereal, however you want to pronounce this place. But there are a couple of ways to prevent that. And the first way that I've easily and reliably been able to do it is to progress Sigurd so he's in the kitchen, and then you send Grey Rat out to scavenge. And that should trigger the condition for Grey Rat surviving. Fortunately, we have to fight all these motherfuckers. But it's okay, because they're not that bad. It's also worth noting that if you look at how their like insides and their underbellies look, they're designed very, very similarly to the Gaping Dragon boss from Dark Souls 1, which, again, is another one of those weird like environmental storytelling things where we don't really know what the indications behind it are. So we just picked up some more Umbral Ash. It's holding poop. Gives you more poop. So here we are. Also, there's an Estus soup in here, which continues to be my least favorite thing in this whole game, actually.
It's rather warm in here. Well, hasn't it been all too long? It's good to see you. Oh, I seem to have missed my chance, so I, Siegfried of Katerina, offer my deepest gratitude. And a little surprise to go with it. It's all yours.
So he'll give us the Emit Force miracle, which is cool.
Won't you join me for dinner? I make a fine Estus soup. I've got some stewing right now. Even we undead deserve a little normalcy from time to time. And finally, upon this rendezvous, let us make a toast.
So he gives you another
To
seek
your
brow.
valor, my sword, and our sworn duties.
He'll toast again. It gives you the
Have you heard? Somewhere,
Estus soup.
hidden right here in Irithyll, is a
Irithyll.
deep dungeon. And even below that, the profaned capital, home of Yorm, the reclusive giant lord. That reminds me, I've a grave promise to keep. Oh, sorry. I'm afraid I've cast a cloud over things. Well, I'm going to have myself a little nap. The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast.
And he's going to fall asleep again. Okay, so now that we have Emit Force, and he will be in this kitchen until he shows up in his next location, which is going to be a little bit farther down. This area was really cool for me because it's Anor Londo. I mean, like, the world design, the area design, the presence of the Silver Knights, all of the paintings that are on the walls, except for I think like 2, are all paintings from either the first or the second game. Just like, Silver Knights. I fucking hate these guys. Ow! Okay, see, we're actually going to want to pull him into an area where that dickhead can't shoot dragon slaying bolts at us. There we go. That's what I wanted. Not a whole lot of damage, though. I may, Jesus, that took entirely too many hits. I got a Divine Blessing now. So yeah, there's the portrait of Guinevere up here. There's this picture of an empty throne. It's speculated that it could be a picture of the Throne of Want from the second game, a picture of Nishandra from the second game, and then a picture of the painted world of Ariamis from the first game. Also worth noting that this shitty stuff comes out of all of the urns that you can break in the area that induce frostbite. These guys are pretty much the same as they ever were. Pretty slow. I don't know if they're as easy to parry. I remember Silver Knights in the first game. Like, that was a very viable solution. I was just parrying them. I don't know if they're as easy to parry this time around, but... not too bad. They are definitely very big on dropping large Titanite. So, like I said, as the game goes on, it kind of scales up its crafting or upgrading materials that it drops, most noticeably with the regular Titanite and large Titanite. We got a series of chests here. The Leo Ring, which is Ornstein's equipment. Smo's Great Hammer, which is of course Executioner Smo's equipment. And then a Divine Blessing, which is again an item that's associated with Guinevere, who may or may not be a character in this game, depending on who you, how you interpret Lord. Anyway, so that's it for this area, and we're going to go back to the Firelink and talk to Grey Rat and advance his quest. Grey Rat, Grey Rat, Grey Rat, where are you, Grey Rat?
Oh, hello. Fine work, I say. discovering Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, all in a day's work. If the tales are true, it is home to old moon-worshipping nobles, and should be packed with treasure. What do you think? Shall I go and see what I can find?
Yeah, definitely.
Fine choice. I am Grey Rat the Thief. What I bring back will be worthy of that name.
Cool. So, oh, actually, I should maybe. Stock up on stronger bolts before he goes this time. Could get quite a few. Nah, I don't think so. So he's gonna disappear after we sit down at the bonfire next time. Let's see. I don't have any chunks, so I can't pour them into that. We might be able to pull a level out of this.
Welcome. Very well.
So I think it would probably make the most sense for us to either put it into more HP or strength. And I think I'm going to put it into strength just based on the fact that I was having a harder time.
Gracious. I only hope.
Harder time killing those silver knights. So now we get some more poop things. We get a dung pile and a stock dung pile. One which throws in front of you, one which throws behind you. And I think that's it that we get out of that one. Might as well.
Ashen one.
Alright. I think I'm going to cut the episode here. Next time, we will be progressing farther in Ithriel, and we will hopefully run into the next boss and kill him. So we'll see you next time.